Everyone calm down, we don't have much time. I don't know if I've thought about this too much or if I've connected the dots just enough that it makes complete sense, because I have reason to believe that Gregory and the duck are connected, while simultaneously revealing who might be the enemy in LoreFi, plus the realization as to why Taylor hasn't disappeared yet. And it all links back to Sesame Street. You heard me right. By the end of this video, I will hopefully have convinced you that we can solve LoreFi with the help of some classic Muppets. But before we do that, please do subscribe. It's free and you can always unsubscribe later. Subscribing is the best way to help out my channel, as it can notify you whenever I post if you turn notifications on. It truly means the world to me when you guys support this channel, so if you could please check to see that you are subscribed, that would be great. Thank you, and back to the video. Now, you may be asking yourself, who exactly is Gregory Daniels? And if you don't know, that's the kid that went missing on the newspaper in the teaser video. In the new video found on the LoreFi channel, we hear he's been kidnapped. He's 12 years old, lives at 3251 Spring Lake Drive, and is later on told to do something, likely when the camera started recording. Those are all things we're pretty certain about. However, there are a few hints for this ARG that seem out of place. Like the fact that Matt Pat hinted towards that LoreFi contained a duck.
Corners that might have a rubber duck theme.
Specifically a rubber duck in the kindergarten livestream, which aired before LoreFi did. And that's something that's been bothering me. Like, why a rubber duck? It's such specific symbolism. Like, a duck, I get. But a rubber duck? I mean, it only reminds me of one thing. Bert and Ernie. Bert and Ernie were two popular characters on the classic Sesame Street for some timeless sketches that live on to this day. And in 1970, they released a hit song, Rubber Ducky. And when I say hit song, I don't mean that lightly. A song about a Muppet and his favourite rubber duck became a sensation with kids. If you were a kid during this time, you couldn't go anywhere without hearing this song. That's how big it got. But why am I bringing this up? We've already confirmed that LoreFi is set between 2000s to 2010s. If this is intentional, then I doubt that it's referring to Gregory or even Taylor's childhoods, because they were born later on when this song wouldn't have really affected a large part of that childhood. But it would have been memorable for someone born in 1962, who would have been around 8 when the song first aired and would have associated it as part of their childhood. Someone like Taylor's dad. We see Taylor's dad text her as Cool Dad 1962. It's typical for the older generation to use their birth year in usernames. So the theory here is that Taylor's dad is the one behind the virus. He's using the rubber duck as a symbol to appeal to kids or represent innocence because he remembers it as a large part of his own childhood. And that leads me to this specific duck. This is Gregory, I think. In one of my last theories, I said how the song names in the LoreFi Spotify list could be instructions towards the listeners, particularly headphones on. The idea is that this is what trapping people in the sound, and it's interesting that this is the only duck we see with headphones on. The rest haven't had any. Now, this could just be because it's used to represent music, or the duck represents a victim of the LoreFi beats. I've already linked how the duck is a symbol of innocence and childhood, so could it be that the duck is what's left of Gregory Daniels and Taylor's dad is using him to spy on Taylor? If so, that's kinda messed up, dude. This is a divorced dad who is using lo-fi beats to trap people in sound, generating the music, while simultaneously using those he has trapped to keep an eye on his daughter. If this is the case, and the duck is Gregory, then who's to say that Gregory isn't going to try and get in contact with Taylor, using the music that she's downloaded to send a message across? Considering that half the songs in the playlist have a much more cynical undertone of someone trying to lure someone in, the rest could be victims trying to reach out and make sure others don't do the same. But what I can't quite get my head around is the motivation. As far as we know, we don't actually know why someone would be doing this, as in trapping souls within music. It could be some sick sense of control over other people, effectively turning others into AI assistants, but as far as we've seen, we only know of Gregory. But it's implied that there are others in the playlist. Oh, and there's another thing that needs to be taken into account. Taylor is sick. We know she's sick because she's gotten messages sent from her friends, her peeps, telling her everything she's been missing while she's been gone. She also has tickets to Remnant on her wall, but since the live stream has been going on since the 13th, how are we meant to know if she went to the concert or not? Because it's likely implied that she didn't. Which doesn't seem in character given all of the posters on her wall. And if we look at her other wall, we can see that it's not just anime characters that she's drawing. We see this disturbing picture of a shadow on a post-it note. Could this be what she sees when she's sick? We see a similar scene happen when one of her parents walks into the room and resembles this shadow monster. Maybe in her own mind she's distorting what she's actually seeing. And maybe this links back to the virus. Think about it, she starts listening to the music and once the virus gets uploaded, she conveniently gets sick. She would be locked in her room all day with nothing else to do but burn CDs. And this is how we tie it back to motivation. Specifically, the motivation for her father sending that computer virus. The truth is, he might not be able to see his kid often. So, to keep an eye on her, he hacks her webcam, able to see what she's doing every day. Except when she's in school. So by making her sick, he wouldn't have to worry about her leaving. In fact, it likely ensures that she won't be taking her headphones off at any time soon, allowing him control over the situation. Talking about this brings up a multitude of other questions, like, if Gregory is trying to reach out to Taylor from music, is he doing it for her sake or his own? If this was Taylor's dad's doing, then what would be the end goal? Are people being kidnapped even still alive, or is there no hope saving them? And will Taylor meet a similar fate? But what do you guys think? Is this theory plausible, or have I finally lost my mind? I'll leave that up to you guys, but until then, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please do subscribe. I'm still trying to grow this channel so I can make more theories, and you subscribing would be the best way to help that. Thank you towards my members. I would try and read all your names, but there are just so many incredible people here. You guys are insane with how much support you show this channel. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!